do you think that men and women don't have equal rights?
People, 100% men and women do not have equal rights.
Okay, well, I guess which ones? Is it, you're saying you're laughing because you think it's self-evident? Like,
yeah.
How could I even ask that question? Well,
like literally the pay gap. Like the what?
Okay, I'll
like
engage you on there, but
men are paid
sure.
more.
I'll engage you on the pay gap,
Like,
but but can you tell me like what are some of the actual rights that men have that women don't?
I guess like rights. Like, do you mean
Yeah.
like the right to bear arms and like the right to vote?
Well, that was the conversation.
I guess yeah. Legally, no.
But why did
Legally
you
and all
scoff
of-
then? If it is the case that women have equal rights to men,
Well,
why did
I
you-
guess I was thinking more just like, are women seen as equals? I was thinking that way. I shouldn't have scoffed.
Are women seen as equals?
Yeah, I don't think that women are seen as equal to men.
In what way? I think you have to be a bit
I
more
think
precise.
that we're looked at as more like stupid, and like I think yeah, it's true. Like you don't feel like you get talked down to by men because you're a woman.
I do. No.
I feel that way every
I
day.
know.
Okay, I get talked down to by women, so I mean,
True.
Yeah, but I
Well,
don't think
actually-
that they're talking down to you because you're a man. Maybe some women that are super anti-men.
well,
So maybe there are women that are anti-men that are like talking to you, but I think that like a lot of people are born with like a.
but what if somebody's
internalized
just
sexism.
stupid? Like, what if a man is stupid? What if a woman is stupid?
Then you treat them like they're stupid, but not because
Okay.
they're a man or a woman, because they're stupid.
But I think one thing that's interesting to me about that is it seems like it's often the case when a bad thing happens to women or a bad thing happens to a minority, somebody in a minority group, whether they're Hispanic or they're black or they're Asian, whatever it is, there is this yearning to the bad thing that happened to them happened because they're part of this identity group. A bad thing happened to a woman, and it happened because she's a woman. But we don't put this sort of same thing on
So
men.
give me an example of something that like someone like
Sure,
something that
I'll
might
go-
happen to me, and then I might
Oh.
say like, okay, it's
Okay.
because I'm a woman.
Well, you mentioned Black Lives Matter recently, so I guess I'll take it in that direction. So
I can't wait.
yeah, so what happened? You know, look, that whole thing's very complicated. The George Floyd killing, there's varying disputes over, you know, did he OD? Did the police contribute to his unfortunate death? You know, there are legal disputes there. However, nothing actually in the conduct of the police officer would indicate to me that it was racially motivated. But those were race riots. A black man did happen to die, and that's unfortunate. But there was nothing in the actual conduct of the police officers that would indicate that they was racially motivated. He did happen to be black, but where's the racism?
I think that in that situation, I honestly am going to say like this one thing, and then I think that like what I was really asking was an example like for myself, like
Okay.
something that would happen to me, so that I can judge like would I say, oh, is it this because I'm a woman or whatever. But in that situation, I think it's really just statistics of things like that happening to
Well,
black men over
Sure.
white men.
Well,
And I think that-
then shifting off of that, then the exact example you provided, you say men talk down to women, and you're saying that it's because they're women. But then the reverse.
But why would suddenly, after like so many centuries of sexism and women being less than, and like suddenly, yeah, okay, we have the same rights, but suddenly like men are really gonna treat you the same? Like that's just not how it is. That's not. Women also women. I think that we have internalized sexism too, and sometimes we might think a man is better suited to be our surgeon than a woman. Like if you're like, you know, I think that it's like.
Do you think that?
No, but I
Okay.
think that off first bat, a lot of people, maybe myself, if I was given two options, the first thing, because that's what we're trained to think, is that like men are going to do a better job at certain things.
I don't
think that it's true.
way. I don't think that way.
Actually, I mean, again, I'm sure there's been studies on this. I'm not familiar with them. There maybe has been some studies that actually maybe point out that in some surgical practices, women have some degree of better like hand-eye coordination, or I don't know the exact. Anyways, that's besides the point.
It's called manual dexterity.
Manual dexterity. Like for example, and this would kind of just make sense without like a study needed. Like assuming women have smaller hands, they're better able to like make sort of like if you have big man hands or some shit, it's kind of like hard to you know. Like with really small instruments, you know. So
I think that men are better than women at some things, and women are better than men at
I
some
agree with
things.
that.
Logically.
I agree with that.
But I also think that there can be women that are better than men at things that men are normally better at too.
And vice versa.
Sure.
No, I agree.
I think
Yeah.
it literally
Sure.
doesn't matter if you're good at something, you're good at something. That's the end of the story.
That's what I'm saying. Wait, did it sound like I was saying that people should think that men are better surgeons?
No.
Oh, okay,
I
just
don't
making sure
think so.
that's not.
But so I guess is there? And one thing actually, you mentioned that there was a lot of sexism for long periods of time. Are you talking like about the vote?
I mean, I'm
little
talking
bit.
about like
A lot of
everything. Like
things,
we all
okay.
know, like the history of sexism? Like what?
But you do realize, for example, men only got the right to vote very, very shortly before women. Like it was not a long period of time.
You mean like poor men or black men or Native American men? Are you talking about this
All
country,
men.
other countries?
All men.
Because voting started happening?
Yeah, so voting is a pretty new phenomenon for the vast majority of human history.
Yeah, I think we
People-
started voting in like multiple hundreds of years ago. Maybe, yeah.
Broadly, voting is very recent, past 200, 300 years,
Yeah, women's voting is like past
100 years. So I think the
Probably women's
differential,
suffrage
so
was
in the United States, I think the difference is like 50 years from when all men could vote and from when all women could vote. Very small period of time.
Yeah, but that's all men. Like they waited to allow like men who were poor or that weren't property owners and stuff to vote. Like that was years after like men with money or white men. Like first it was men that were property owners and like were also religious and also white could vote, and then it was men that were property owners and white, and then it was and then like it kept going like that. But it was, up until the very end, it was just men who were this and men who were that.
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that for the vast majority of human history, most men and most women didn't have any power, didn't have any say. So this
Yeah,
idea
no, that's true.
this
Like
idea that-
monarchy, yeah.
Right, there were kings and
Yeah.
emperors and this sort of thing, or the
Yeah, most of the time it was men that were kings and
yeah,
emperors,
sure, but that's
right?
a very small apex of men that had any power.
I
So
know,
this
but it was
idea-
men, wasn't it? It wasn't women.
Right, but that's an apex fallacy. So just because, like, I would say that has
Yeah,
more
but
to
you're
do with
talking
power.
about everyone else didn't have
Yeah,
power,
but
so then
also
the people that
queens
did
came
have
into
power.
Queens came into power, so it wasn't just men.
Okay.
Are you
No,
denying that queens had power?
No, I think that this conversation has gone really far off of where we started, and I just don't really feel like I need to
I'm
continue.
totally fine
that.
having the conversation. It's
Yeah, no, I'm
you
good having the
upset, or-
conversation too. Does anyone else want to input anything though?
all right.
Let's
Is that
have a
just-
new topic.
No, I'm just.
No, we can talk about it. I'm totally fine
I
with it.
don't want to talk about it.
Is it?
No, I just feel like I'm
uncomfortable
trying to give
truths?
its history lesson right now.
I just don't feel
Truths?
like I just don't feel educated enough to like
That's totally
be a
fine.
part of this conversation
Totally fine.
accurately. So I'm just
No problem.
spectating for now.
And that takes a level. It takes
Yeah.
a level of intelligence
That's
to
what I'm
say,
talking
you know
about,
what?
things
I
I
just
don't
don't know
know
about
about.
this. I don't want to weigh in. That's
I,
totally
I
fine.
don't know enough.
So, as far as equality goes, yes, women do have like they can own houses, they can own credit financially. They used to not could, so we did come a long way. However, there are still things that men are given more privilege to, as far as pay. The pay rate is actually a serious thing. The girl from Shameless actually quit the show because they were not paying her the amount of money as the other guy.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well,
Go ahead. Finish your
and
spot. I'll respond.
presidency, we only have one vice woman president after so many years, and she still didn't win because she is a woman, and a lot of other reasons. Women just
Wait, hold on. Let's do one thing at a time.
go ahead, knock yourself out.
Because I'm going to have difficulty keeping up if we're just shotgunning all these things.
Right.
Okay, so
I don't think she didn't win because she was a woman, but
yeah,
That's
I
part
would
of the
say.
reason.
But there's a reason we've never had a woman
It
president.
had nothing to do
like
with
because people don't.
had nothing to do with the fact that she was a woman.
Part of the reason. It was one of the
I
reasons.
think it was part of
It
the
wasn't
reason.
all of it, but
Wait.
it was
I
one
think
of
she
the
would have gotten more
Wait, would
votes
you
if she had the
question?
same
Would,
policies if it was a man.
would you, if you could choose, not knowing their specific politics, between voting for a woman or a man, who would you vote for?
Man,
A man.
Oh,
Absolutely. I don't. I
who
think.
would you pick, the man or the woman?
I think. Well, first of all, if just solely based on their sex,
Yeah, assume it's like your political affiliation, your political alignment, but they're just mostly the same. One's a man, one's a woman.
mostly the same woman, just because men have been ruling all this time and it still has not been any different. If I feel like it would probably be different if a woman did run the country.
How would it be different?
Well, first of all, when far as we say women can't be presidents because they're too emotional, we think of the fact that the guy in office right now is a little too emotional. Guys are also emotional creatures as far as reacting on their anger impulses and setting things like, overturning Roe v. Wade and all that other stuff. Why are they, they're acting on...
You realize there are multiple female justices on the
No,
Supreme
I agree.
Court?
Absolutely. I'm not sitting there and saying that there aren't women who also...
he didn't overturn it, right?
Well, I'm just
that's
saying.
not his
I'm
decision.
I'm just saying, like, wanting to do that.
Wait, when did that happen during the Biden administration? When did that happen? I
That
forgot.
happened during
It
Trump's
wasn't
first term.
It wasn't during his second term though.
It was his
when was
first.
that? Was it? I thought it happened.
I'm just saying, dude, like, honestly, the Queen of England has been ruling England for such a long time.
The Queen of England is dead. There's a king now.
Well, she's ruled for a long time outside of being dead, obviously.
Okay, yeah, she did rule for a long
She
time.
did rule for a long time.
What's your point?
My point is that that's prime example that women can run a country. There's
Wait.
also women in South America.
Hold on. The UK, the country which lost all its that lost its entire empire, its territory, and then has like rampant crime issues in all of its major cities, and has imported.
Well,
like,
that's because the king or queen of the country in the UK, it doesn't actually, they don't
that
rule
is
the
true.
country.
At least
they
in
don't
the
rule
Like the queen does not
Yeah,
rule the
they don't-
country.
they don't
you do
rule
make a
the
good point. In the UK, it's primarily a ceremonial position. They don't really have much say or power as it relates to the politics of the country. Although she probably had a bit more say, a little bit, like earlier in her reign, but the monarchy's like over time gradually lost power. So
Right.